So, everybody, welcome. Welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson, and thank you so much for being here. You guys are all perfect exactly where you are right now in this exact now moment. And remember that there is nothing wrong with you and that I love you. Remember that everything that is happening is because it is for your highest good. You may not like it, you may not understand it, but that is the whole basis of Truth Tribe and why we do these calls every Monday. It's not to say we know better. It's not to say I know what's going to happen in the future. I don't pick the future. No one picks the future. You pick the now moment, every now moment. And every now is another now. Okay. And so thus why tonight, we're going to talk about cycling from badass to bad attitude. I brought this up, I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday. I did a mini live on Instagram and it was only like 8 minutes, 10 minutes. So it wasn't very long. And I said I would elaborate on this. And so tonight I'm going to elaborate on the cycling that we're all feeling. And someone was like super busy. The energy's fast moving, staying grounded is important. Yes. But I also want you guys to watch out that you're not spiritual bypassing and not realizing that I'm going to pray, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You're doing so much that you're not doing to you. Okay. And why that's happening is we're going in this cyclical mode. Are you cycling? I would pay attention to yourself right now, right? And look within. And this isn't a judgment on anyone. This is you looking at yourselves, right? Are you cycling between badass and bad attitude, then back again, and then you're a badass, and then you're in a bad attitude, and then you're a victim, and then you're a victor, and it's like this back and forth, constant cycling, right? Like I'm super busy, and then I'm not busy, and then I'm good, and then I'm not good. I'm a badass, and I'm in a bad temper tantrum attitude, right? And so what is happening that I can best display this is the experience of death over and over and over again. Okay. Death over, start over, death, start over, death, start over. And it's not physical death. Okay. So you are seeing things inside of you that are ready to die or have already died. Okay. So once you detox from dysfunction of any dysfunction that's been in your life, and it could be emotional, it could be physical, and it could have been relationships, it could be everything that has gone on in your specific blueprint of life. So think of it from when you stop eating toxins, once you stop watching toxic programming, once you stop entertaining toxic social groups or environments, right? Once you stop accepting unhealthy love. And these are just a short list to name a few, okay? You become, once you've stopped accepting dysfunction, unable to tolerate toxic discussions, situations, or people anymore. Okay. You become unable to tolerate delusions of truth anymore. Okay. It may still be their truth, whoever you're speaking with or communicating with or interacting with, but it's not yours. Okay. And so it's no different than, and I'm talking energetically. Okay. So it's no different than detoxing your body from bad food. Okay, you have no desire to go back to eat McDonald's and red vines. As much as you all know I freaking love red vines, right? I don't eat them anymore. Why? Because I've worked so hard. And what happens, you go back, you know how terrible you're going to feel from it. And you know it in your soul, right? So you will not be interested or desire it just any longer. Okay, so the secret of living the life that you deserve is death. And I mean the death of that part of you that was attracted to toxic cycles as a protection form of safety. And no one wants to admit this, like, why would I choose that as safety? Why would I choose drama? Why would I choose toxicity? Because that's what you were taught. And so now everyone on the planet, not just all of you on this call, which I love seeing you all here and sharing this with other people, but everyone is going through this cycle because it's from the universe, it's from the galaxy, it's from the planets, it's the energy that's being held right now, okay? And so you are dying out of the life that you don't deserve anymore. Didn't mean you deserved it then. I'm just saying it's something you've moved out of. You're all lighthouses. You're all light warriors. So this cycle that you are viewing in this, like, let it go. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do something new. It's not new. We've done this for thousands and thousands and thousands of lifetimes. It's just for the first time in humanity's history of being on Earth, okay? It's visual for you all to see on every screen that you encounter to show you victim consciousness dying. It's like right in front of your screen. Okay. And so you get to watch it all the time. Victim, trauma, toxicity, dying. It's always on the, oh, you're going to die if you don't take this pill. You're going to die if you don't hurry up and take this jab, if you don't hurry and take this food, if you don't do what we tell you, you're going to be a victim. That's dying right in front of your eyes. And so if you don't like a certain aspect, just an energy in your life, a part of your life, it's the part of you that you must let die. Okay. And you must let all social constructs die that's associated with that. You must let all memories die. You must let your interaction with all that no longer supports your best life. Okay. You have to let all those things die. And so dying sounds harsh, but it's actually so beautiful. It's quite beautiful when you look at it from an energetic perspective. Okay, you must let the idea of death die as well. Because when you do, and you let that go, you are able to step into all the things that you have dreamed of. And the life that you deserve to live. And walking into that cannot be any way attached to those old things. And that beautiful life has always been part of your energetic grid of reality, always, right? You have simply been living behind a roadblock like this, okay? You can kind of see me, but I can't totally see. I know you're there, but I can't see you. So you've been sitting behind this roadblock with limited knowledge of how to remove the roadblock. And it's very simple. Truth, consciousness, spirit, truth to thoughts, to things. Things are the physical. Body, mind, spirit. Spirit, mind, truth, or physicality. Okay. And so it's not what others' truth, right? You have to think of it that it's not what others' truth is going to be out like, oh, but the truth that you keep avoiding. So when someone tells you this is the truth, it has nothing to do with that. It's the truth that you're avoiding that has you in a holding pattern of recycling victim or victory patterns, the can't and the can patterns, the badass and the bad attitude patterns. Okay, so you guys have to remember this, that you are the only one who can listen to your damn voice in your thoughts in your head playing these stupid bullshit stories. It doesn't mean your family and your parents and your friends and your coworkers, whoever, are bad if they're still in those cycles. But this is truly when you start looking at your own self and you're catching yourself. You guys catching this? It's fast too. It's like all of a sudden you're in badass mode, and then all of a sudden you go into this thought pattern, and then all of a sudden you're like in a bad attitude about, you're like, well, I was just there. It's cycling fast. And this is because the truth comes out, and it means that you have to admit what you want, and then you have to admit what having it requires the death of. I want you guys to think about that, okay? What does having what you want, it's going to require you to let go of a part of you that's been attached to something that's all you knew to play safe, to play supported, to whatever it was. So when you start living in truth, your whole game changes. Because now these roadblocks are just simply detours. Like when you hit that, you're like, either you let it burn down, or you bring in the bulldozer and you get out of your way, or you just let it burn to the ground, or you just ignore it and take a detour. So you allowing that futile part of yourself to die, continuously trying to recreate the life you deserve in this old life you didn't deserve. That's what's happening. So you're going round and round and round. Now, what do these boulders in your way look like? I mean, in reality, okay? So I want you to think of this. These boulders in your way that are frustrating everybody right now, and you're going round and round with all this recycling. It looks like financial stagnation or financial debt that you were just out of and you were feeling good, and then all of a sudden you're financially weighted again. You're like, oh, there it is again. No, it's a cycle you played. It's not real. Repeatedly attracting unhealthy habits in relationships, going, oh my God, I found a new one. They're amazing. She's so beautiful. She's amazing. But oh my God, see, there it is. I caught it. There it is again. No, you attracted it. So repeatedly attracting, whether it's in a current marriage, a current relationship, or you're on the dating apps. I don't care who it is. How else does it look like? Recycling, like unhealthy body habits with self-sabotage, like you're making healthy habits and then you self-sabotage it by ingesting toxins that keep you stuck. Waiting to get validated maybe from others who never will, right? That are only wasting your time because they have no interest in changing onto your new road. Maybe criticizing or judging others who have a different journey than you do. And you think they need to be on your journey. They don't. These are examples of what the boulders look like, or what this frustration looks like, and what this death and regenerating is looking like. When you're in badass mode, all of a sudden you hit the block, you're like, oh, you're victim mode, right? That's exactly what's happening. We're like constantly doing this. These are boulders in your mind sitting on the bridge needing to die. And this is the bridge. Spirit, truth. The bridge, thoughts. The physicality, right? Body is things, the anything, okay? There are aspects of you that are ready for death. I need you to understand this. They're all just personality aspects of you needing for death. And this could be a person. This could be a person in your life that needs to not die in reality, but die out of your life. And it doesn't mean you want bad for them, or you wish negative on them in any way. Okay. So there are aspects of you that are ready and needing to die. They are scary because the truth has no part of this bridge of memory. Truth just says, this is who you are, this is why you came, this is what you want. Okay. And so when we get into things, thoughts, and truth is being blocked by the thoughts in the way that the things you desire. So these thoughts are the boulders. And so all of a sudden you get to here and you're like, oh my God, and you recycle right here. And you're not getting from what the truth is down into here. You are, but I'm trying to teach you what's happening in your brain, in the world. And you're like, I'm good, I'm not, I'm good, I'm not, I'm good, I'm not. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, seriously. So yes, the death of your thoughts about you, about yourself, about how you fit into this new reality is scary shit. But it's your freedom point, okay? It's the part of you that has the power to move entire mountains in an instant. Guys, it's like spontaneous physical healing in a moment. It's financial freedom in a single day change game, like changing the game forever. It's not recycling old relationship drama that keep you in victim mode, but you know it, but you go back. You're not holding yourself to those badass behaviors. Emotional releasing of the floodgates of who you want to be over who you were taught to be. Okay. What else does it look like? It looks like addiction to drugs and control and addiction to actions that's just stop in an instant. It looks like confidence and knowingness. It like this just moment in time that you know in your soul. It looks like what the most loving path is for you out of the moment where you're like, I know this is where I thrive and shine, right? How do I know this? I have seen every one of these aspects of life and more. Every one of these spontaneous healings, right, happen in every level immediately when a belief of death preceded it. When they let go of a belief and it just died and they didn't believe that anymore and they said, I don't want that anymore. This spontaneous, imagine like this magical moment happened. This is truth and it requires death. Because when you actually pick truth, You actually have to let something die. Death of unhealthy beliefs, habits, and ideas that you were taught. And the only way that that happens is if you are personally willing to see what you want and what you were taught to believe are not the same. Okay. What we'll see the most of this, right? It's like you're going to see most of, like, I can see most of it happening to me, right? But it's not, like, most people don't want to see this, is my point. You have to let that boulder burn to the ground in every way. How you are seen, how you are expected to act in certain environments, how you are entertaining victim personalities, what you are consuming on a daily basis, mentally, physically, spiritually. One thing that I am seeing lately is a lot of spiritual bypassing I mentioned earlier, right? Using spirit as an excuse to avoid a boulder in conversation, a boulder in taking action, a boulder in a move in the physical things department. Okay. And what I'm saying is spiritual bypassing is like, I'm praying for it. I've asked angels for it. I'm not getting any signs. People share with me all the time. Someone's asking for an example. Okay. People share with me all the time. I pray, I meditate, I ask my angel cards because I teach this in Spiritual Warrior. Okay. I use my pendulum. I go to retreats. I've done ayahuasca. I've taken mushrooms. I've done psychedelics to see past the illusion. And I'm still not getting an answer. Y'all ready for this? This is truth of spirit, right? And spirit's going, here's the answer. And then this boulder you hold on to of thought. And the answer is you don't like the answer that you're being given, right? You are buffering your answers. So if you struggle to communicate, then be honest and let poor communication and you die. If you struggle to overextend your time to everyone and you have a little bit left, just barely any energy left for you to grow, then flip it and care for you first. And the rest get what's left of you. Stop being a doormat. You have to own it and see it, right? If you struggle with financial freedom, put it on paper, look at it visually, daily. What will you save for you first? Will you pay yourself first? If you're struggling to create a career, are you putting more energy into the career or the other things you used to do? And you're saying, well, I don't have time. What is that? What kind of career is it? If you struggle with love, now that's the big one, right? Most people do. If you're struggling with real loving relationships and you find out, right, what's blocking you, you need to look, what's blocking me from receiving love, right? You are love. So the truth is that you're afraid of healthy love because the boulder of unhealthy love is all you know. Look at it. Look at it because you put it there. So what situation are you a control freak? Are you a doormat and you control nothing? Are you in victim mode all the time? I'm giving you an examples because people are asking. And then you go, but I'm praying or I'm asking my angels. Spirit talks to me all the time. I don't even like the answer. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I'll do it. All right, I'll do it. And a lot of times it's not things I enjoy or want to do, but I know if I do it, it breaks this cycle, this repetitive hitting the boulder, start over, hitting the boulder, start over. That's what it breaks. That's spiritual bypassing. So what situation keeps recycling for you that you need to see the truth boulder and think about that truth choice is a choice. You make every day to avoid death. Okay, because if that boulder and in that topic or that scenario, if it died, what would happen? You would be free to live an abundant truth. You would walk out the door and go do all those things you've been saying, I'm having a hard time doing. Realization is seeing your experience. Okay, and experience is relationships. Anybody in your world, your environment, in your situations, in your head, memories of people, of relationships. And relationships wake you up to unbalance in your life. So be grateful to them, right? And to rebalance yourself, you must ask, what is my truth to live the life I deserve? Because a lot of you all like spout it off, but are you doing it? And it all depends if you are willing to be awake to see it, right? You are all experiencing repeated states of death right now. Death of old beliefs, death of old habits, death of old understandings, death of old things you've been taught that's total bullshit. And you're like, oh my God, how could they lie to me? Who gives a shit if they lie to you? Pick and let it die. And you're not just adapting anymore. You're not just dancing around this bullshit. You're not dancing around this bullshit going, well, I'm going to dress it up and make it look like it's pretty and it's not as bad as it is. It is bad for you if you want to live a better truth. It's not just acceptance anymore and acting like it's not there. Death of anything that is not living in truth. Okay. And truth at the end of the day, my friends, is spirit. Okay. And spirit is God consciousness, and God consciousness is love. And love is a feeling. Love is a freedom. Love is the truth of surrender, knowing that you are aligned with your light, with your blueprint that's tattooed on your soul, which is why you came to this freaking earth plane of existence. So yes, you are coming face to face between your badass deserving life, and then many are looking at, they're kind of like, I'm really bad at saying, staying in badass mode out of fear of letting go of all that's associated with this can't bad attitude. So these undeserving thoughts that are blocking your highway, they are ready to die. And so you are experiencing what I'm sharing with you as repetition, and they're fast. I need you to remember this is happening quick. The moment you're like in badass mode, the feeling, all of a sudden you go back like, I was just feeling good. And then something was said, something you're looking, a thought, memory pops up, and you're back into this bad attitude. And then you're up, and then it's like the craziest speed. Every single one of you has been programmed for generations to be a victim, period. No, not one of you. Even all of you who are badass signs and y'all think you're better and you've overcome it. I call bullshit, because you're not. You're all human, and you all have loving, sweet souls who were hurt in some way. You were taught that something was going to come down on you and you didn't deserve to have everything, and only one thing was going to be good. And yes, you all came with a specific and different blueprint than everyone else. It is a lesson for all of you that's sitting on your blueprint for you to learn to overcome. And it's not the same lesson for everyone. Okay. It's not a lesson that everyone will either understand for you either. It's a lesson for you to decide that you will are you going to let, I should say, all those recycled versions of yourself, are you going to let them die and become aware of the you that is meant to grow and expand and become abundant in the life you deserve? And are you going to do it shining your light with love? And I don't want you to be like, oh, it's all foo-foo and joy and in this light and love. No, I don't do this whole unicorn fairy bullshit. You have to own this shit. It's hard. And when you see it, you're like, oh, God, I'm bringing that to me because totally afraid of that. And the answer is why? So the trick here with all this cycling, okay, is when you focus on what you want, the moment you find yourself in victim, bad attitude mode, okay, you are simply upon a boulder in your mind. Right here's this bridge from truth, spirit, down here to physicality and body, okay? And so what happens is you're simply upon a boulder in your mind, the bridge from the thoughts to the things, okay? And here it is. Truth is stuck on this bridge, and there's a boulder in here. And it's wired by ego for bad victim experiences. It remembers all of it, and it wants you to remember too, and it never wants you to forget because it's been protecting you. Okay. So the moment you catch yourself in that victim, and it could be in your head, no one knows, and you're like, you're so protecting. Everybody knows that you're awesome. And really inside, you're like, okay, see the dream instead. Go back to the thing you said, I know what I want and I know what I deserve. See that dream and watch how fast it corrects itself and pulls you back out of that victim mode. You have to hold that focus and thought. Okay. So the cycling is going to be faster and shorter than ever before. Okay. And it's up to you to stop the recycling and allow that unwanted to die to make room for the wanted that you deserve. So if I teach you this and know, okay, the faster I choose what I want and I focus on it, the second victim kicks in, guess what happens? That's what kicks into pulling you back out of it. And you'll turn directions and you'll detour. Okay. So guys, I know you're all feeling this because it's like this. I'm good. I'm not. I'm good. I'm not. I swear to God. Like, it's like you feel literally like you're on top of the world. And then one second you're not. And so the planets are doing this to you, for you, to help you see it. And then they push people into your reality. Okay. Someone just said, yes, we're being pushed outside of our comfort zones. We are. And actually, you have to just make it comfortable because it is comfortable. You just don't realize that winning and living in abundance is actually so beautiful, but you're so uncomfortable with it because you're so used to victim and pain and trauma and someone telling you you're not enough. Okay. So let's go to the planetary update so you can see what's going on. So next week, I'm going to bring this up again on Monday, but there is a new moon in Leo coming up. Okay. And I bring that up because we'll talk about the new moon specifically next Monday at length, but simply the energy that you're feeling is bringing you into Leo energy, which is heart energy, because we're in Leo season. Okay. And it's asking you what you desire in your heart. Leo rules heart. Okay. It rules the sun. It rules where do you want to shine. Okay. And so to be clear about it, you've got to be crystal clear to the universe, to people, to spirit. Okay. So when the new moon hits, it's very clear from this whole week into it that you've set your point of deservingness out there. You've been very crystal clear. You've really researched and dove deep into you to understand what you really want and not forcing it on other people. You just say, this is my truth. This is what I want. It's okay to want what I want. That's Leo energy because they never question what they want. They know what they want. They even throw tantrums about what they want. Okay. Roar, right. So the good news is, so then tomorrow, we're going into an 8-8 portal. Okay. It's August 8th. Okay. That's what the 8-8 portal is. Okay. And I'm not going to go into, it's in Orion Belt. It's the stars of Sirius matching up with the sun. It's a whole multitude of items that are happening up in the solar system. Okay. But let's just make it easy for you. The day 8-8 portal. Okay. So there's this portal that's opening and it's in Leo as well. It's activating the Lion's Gate portal between the spiritual and the physical, which is why I've been showing you these boulders of thoughts that are blocking you. Okay. And so it's opening this vortex of light flooding onto the planet. Okay. So what does that mean? What I want you to start expecting, which is what you're already telling me is happening. Okay. I want you to expect higher consciousnesses and awareness of happening in your life. Just being more aware of stuff like, whoa, of yourself. Enhanced intuition and your psychic abilities are going to go up. You're like, whoa, how did I think that? And it happened. Okay. You're going to start seeing, and a lot of you are already doing this, but you're going to start noticing that you're seeing angel numbers, 1111, 333, 444, 888, 777, more repeating in your space. Okay. You're going to start having prophetic messages through dreams. I've been having a lot of insane stuff lately. Okay. You're going to have the ability to instantly manifest and alter your reality like quick. This is what I was telling you several months ago about timeline jumping. The second you kind of get whooshy or kind of delusional or confused, or, you get lightheaded, I want you to go, nope, and choose the reality you want. Cause it's like you just jumped a timeline. That's going to happen fast. Okay. You're going to start having more frequent deja vus. Like, I know I've done this before. Synchronicity, spiritual downloads. Okay. Unexpected transitions and extremely positive transformations that are for your highest good. So look, if you don't know where Leo sits in your chart, it'll just help you know where you're going to experience it a little bit more and where you can see yourself expanding a little bit more in that area of your topic. Okay. And you don't know where Leo sits in your chart, like I always tell you, go onto my website, go to ideserveitnow.com, go to tools and scroll down to free birth chart, tap your info in, it'll show your chart, you can save it. And look where Leo, the sign of Leo, the little Leo with the tail, and you'll see what house it's sitting in and where it's activating you. Okay. So that's all happening right now, my friends, igniting the light within us. Okay. Then we're still moving into these 8 planets that are going retrograde. Okay. Remember, I told you Venus is retrograde, wherever that sits in your chart. Mars is retrograde, Saturn is retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, Pluto's retrograde, and Mercury is going in a week. You're already feeling now Mercury retrograde pulling you backwards into the 23rd. And you'll have a week of shadow week, which means we have a week prior to that, which is starting next week. So you're already feeling it. And Uranus is the end of this month as well. So without getting you into those retrogrades again, please remind yourself, retrograde cycles are blessings in disguise when you're using them to your advantage and they're forcing you to take a time out. Remember, they don't mean no, they mean slow. Venus rules money. Go reevaluate your money, reevaluate it. Go reevaluate your assertion. What are you putting energy into? Go reevaluate your organization and your Saturn and your career. Go reevaluate how you're spiritual. Are you bypassing things? You're just having faith in angels going to do it all for you. And they're not going to have to, you don't have to do any work here. You just sit here and you're going to get the mega millions, billions of dollars just dropping into your lap. That's my point. That's spiritual bypassing. You have to get clear on all of these things and the transformation. Okay. And so what I want you guys to remember also is that because all this retrograde is happening, expect people and opportunities as well to appear from your past, because that's what retrogrades are, past. And so be very discerning if it was in your past, right? Is it best kept in your past, right? Unless it was bringing you good and it's then coming back again to bring you more good. Then of course, yes. So people ask me all the time, well, like, should I expect nothing from my past to let it come back? No, not at all. Because if it was good and it just separated it for a while, it doesn't mean it's not good again, right? And then remind yourself that this North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra, okay? The North Node in Aries is your I. I can have what I want. I can choose that choice, and I don't have to keep recycling into that bad attitude victim, poor me, can't mode. You're going to hit it, but you'll just hit it less and go, no. Dawn told me to refocus, and you'll keep staying there less and getting to where you want to go. I mode or South Node in Libra, which is relationships, checking unbalanced relationships with this reset and unravel mode. Okay. Accept these opportunities, my friends, to grow and see that they need you. These people need you to help them by releasing them and your expectations of them. Right? You know what your family, your kids need to do. And if they did it your way, they'd be better. Well, that's bullshit. You know what your team needs to do. Well, if they don't want to do it your way, let them go. You know what your BFF, she knows you well enough. I'm trying to tell you, if they need to go, they will release off. And when they're wanting to come back, you speaking your truth is all that matters. They know who you are because you're speaking that truth and they want to be part of that frequency of love. Okay. Several questions and comments have come in. So I'm going to tap on those in a minute. Everybody right here real quick. Tap it in. Right? Tap, this is into your frequency center. It's like tapping on a drum. It's tapping a rhythm, a heartbeat rhythm into your soul, into your energy. Okay. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Guess what courage represents? Lions. I've been tapping this into you for years, getting you into a higher frequency of love, which is 500 on the Hawkins scale. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Your challenge this week, running into that new moon for Leo, because we're in this whole Lion Leo energy frequency, Lion's Gate. Write down what needs to die to allow you to start living. And it could just be a belief, a thought pattern, a memory. Maybe you're mad at your parents for doing what they did. They didn't know any better. I told you this. They don't know any better. You do. Write down what needs to die to allow you to start living your best life. It could be a memory. It could be a person. It goes, I forgive them. I don't actually want bad for them. I don't want to think down on them. I want them to have everything they've ever wanted. That's what I want you guys to, that's your challenge for the week, okay? So I'm going to open up Q&A to share. I want you guys to really kind of offer this up right tonight. I want you to share what environment, what emotion, what person, what experience has lost its luster and is dying in your life right now, and you don't like admitting it. Okay, what is that? So let me give you guys one of the comments. I'm changing the pattern of thinking. The man chooses me and I adapt to his needs. Oh, that's beautiful. I've walked away from the last 3 men who chose me, and I love my life, and I'm okay until I choose the right guy. 100%. 100%. And you guys, this right here is the reason I made the IDI Academy and/or why I do private coaching. Because when you know who you are, you know how to choose you. When you choose you, guess what? You don't have to have anyone go out and look and see if they're going to choose you, because your energy is just a match. It's a magnet. You don't have to ask to get chosen. You don't have to ask if someone wants you. They just want you because energetically, you're just a magnet to the match to their energy. I love it. Okay, so someone said this energy is like a crazy revolving door. Isn't it totally? It's exactly what it feels like. Okay, let it go. People are saying, okay. All right, does this all make sense? Those of you who are in the Zoom, if you guys want to throw out questions, okay. So this next question came in here, and I want to make sure I'm answering this right. So it says, are you saying basically our repeating sadness is dying? Because wouldn't that be good? It's all good. It's just a lot of people don't want to admit it. Yes, it's 100% good. That's exactly what I'm saying, is that wouldn't that be amazing? But the fascinating part is that most of us don't realize we've been attached to that sadness and pain and safe. That sadness and pain is your safe space. That criticizing, complaining, judging of others so you don't have to own your shit has been a safe space for a long time, because we know how to navigate that reality. We know how to live in that reality with certain people in our environment. Think if you worked at a company for, I don't know, 25 years, or maybe your whole life. That's all you know. So to pick something better because you're like, oh my God, how would I even succeed? Would I even be able to make it? Yes, absolutely. So for me to tell you to pick joy and good things and level the playing field of all the old sadness repeating over and over in your life, that would be more discomfort. Picking joy, right? And more fearful than you doing this cycling of burn it, start over, burn it, start over, burn it, start over period. So that death and rebirth period is in its recycling mode, okay? Until you make this one moment of conscious stepping up to say, I'm done, period. I appreciate and I deserve to live my most best, badass, beautiful life, right? Always, not just in one moment, not just once in a while, right? But I choose to live that way all the time. So in essence, you're kind of, the best way I can say this to you guys is that you're slow dripping the death of your old self. And you don't have to slow drip it. I'm just kind of telling you what is happening. All right. And you're not getting out of it. So especially if we're having these discussions, you're not. Does it make sense? Someone said, yes, a sibling, this is happening with them in a sibling scenario. Death of drama. So let's see, someone said, yes, death of drama. So you choose what you want. Yes. Because if you don't want to entertain drama, you've got to choose what you want and let the drama play itself out on its own. It will fizzle, right? Acknowledge the boulder, then make a different choice and let the boulder go. Yes. I'm calling it a boulder because in your brain, this thought, here's your truth, right? Things, thoughts, truth. Okay. Truth is up here in your spiritual truth self. Okay. That's your spiritual grid of trying to act like, I don't know what my truth is. And you do know. Your soul, your higher self knows. When you choose your truth, and it gets blocked right here, you already know it's a belief that you're like, I'm not good enough. I was told I wasn't good enough. I was raised in a difficult family. I was raised poor. I was raised in poverty. And that doesn't change the game when we have free everything nowadays. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is you have to ask yourself, is the block a toxin or a negative thought? Yeah, it's a block, a toxin. It can be anything. I'm just using the form boulder because if you have a boulder between your brain and your physicality, your body, your things, what you want, money, homes, a healthy body, you won't get it because you're recycling here. I want it, I don't. I want it, I don't. I want it, I don't. And you never get into physicality, into the things, into a new boyfriend. So you have to address the thoughts that are blocking it, into a new girlfriend, into a new boyfriend, into a new career, into a new company, into a new business you're trying to build. Remember, you have 3 businesses and you wanted the 4th one always and you keep holding back. I don't know. Does that make sense? Did I explain that? So again, it's just like a slow dripping of your old self. Okay. So why, so I know this, okay, so you guys keep asking me about the boulders. It says, so why would anyone fight this? Okay. You don't know you're fighting it is my point. Yeah, it's a habit. Someone just said you don't know you're fighting this because it's a habit. You're just programmed to do that over and over until I'm asking you to become aware of your own brain, your own thoughts going, am I really afraid of having that? What am I doing? What is this person showing up and pissing me off? I want to see that, knowing, do I believe that about myself? Ooh, thank you, person pissed me off. Thank you. They're like a blessing. They're the boulder teaching you what the boulder is in your thoughts. Because a lot of you, most people have relationship blocks, period. You all do it. That's why I do relationship coaching all day long. I want you to think of it from this perspective, okay? Why would we fight this? Because if you have a relationship block, which most people do, you make your spouse look like the issue, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your career, like your boss, whoever, okay? And you feel like if you left that marriage, right, which I do not encourage unless it's an abusive relationship. If they're abusing you mentally or physically, yes, it's time to leave. So unless one party, or also like one party is like unequivocally refusing to grow with you, those would be 2 scenarios when you need to walk away, okay? So you think, I can't let this marriage die. I don't want my partner to go. I don't want to end and leave them. You aren't leaving them. You're leaving the toxic cycle you've been in with them. And that's what I'm trying to share with you guys. That's why you stay in these toxic cycles, because death looks like divorce. And sometimes it is divorce. But often it's a disagreement testing your self-worth in a private room, in a private home, in a private scenario, so you can step up to it and decide to deserve more. That's all it is. And the moment you do, they update with you. Like I said, some people will not leave. They're not going to leave. They're going to grow with you. You're the one choosing first. Then they choose. Then you choose. You're like, well, why do I have to be first? Because you want it first. If you don't want it, then I call bullshit. That's on you. So pick what you want. Does that make sense, guys? Does that help you understand where this is all coming from? Any more questions? So I did so good explaining this cycling. Do you guys get that? So the second you choose what you want, my big challenge for all of is, do you even know what you want? Because a lot of people don't. They're like, I know what I want. It's money. It's not money. You want money, what money will give you. It's a career. You don't want a career. You want what career will give you, which is people will respect me. Well, then respect it. Make them respect you now. Go get the money because you want to go and live your best life free, not because the money will prove to people you're free. right? So it's hard to understand why I've been first in changing and choosing. Now, do you understand though? You have to choose it first, okay? You make the choice first to choose it. Those who are going to come along with you, like I said, those who are not going to divorce you are coming along with you. You just have to decide the life you want and let them decide if they want to adapt to it. They will, they always do. We just put so much pressure on everybody to do it at our speed. And that's not on them. And we don't want to judge people. We don't want to put the pressure on them and control them and guilt them or criticize them of how they're doing their life. Who fucking cares? Do you really care? It's so stupid. And like, I'm not kidding you guys, everything that you think is bad. I find someone, I don't know who I was talking to the other day. I think it was my husband or a friend, and we were talking about my energy, right? And yes, I have these same challenges, these same boulders coming up, these same like repetitive bullshit, right? Right. And someone says, sometimes I care because I'm lonely, I guess. You don't have to be lonely. If you choose that frequency, you go find everyone who wants to talk about that frequency with you. So what I'm trying to say is there's a point where, like, I know for who I am, I love everyone. I don't care if you have a felony or if you've had addictions or you've had 5 marriages and you keep failing. I believe in you. I see those good things in you. But if you don't see those things in you, that you can undo that block and have the best of everything you wanted right now, without toxins, without addictions, without fear of going back to jail, or without fear of losing your marriage or the next relationship, or having to go work so hard at it. You don't have to work hard at this. This is not rocket science. You just have to remove all the boulders blocking you from what's already on your path. It's literally on the other side, waiting for you, because it's already part of your grid. If you've already thought you want it, it's already there. You just have a block in the way of you seeing it in reality of physicality. Does that make sense? I'm that good tonight. You guys are too funny. So this is where I'm trying to get you guys to open your minds. Okay. It's going to be a big introspective, all these retrogrades, Lionsgate portal, time for you to manifest your best life. And each time something pushes your button, oh, thank you. Thank you. No, thanks. No, thanks. Right. And you pick the next one. And people might be downright bitter and mean and controlling, or criticism, or just judgy, because we live in a very fucking judgy society, thinking that we know other people, right? Thinking that we know what they're thinking. And I'm like, it's total bullshit. Everybody's had rough lives. Everybody's had shit in their life. And I just think it's such a joke that we're like trashing on people who are just, when they are leveling up and trying to make it to the next level and pulling their freaking bootstraps up and trying to overcome all these challenges, when at the end of the day, it's just what you were taught. And if you were untaught, if I want you all to, I'm going to leave you tonight on this one last thought. If you didn't know or think or feel what someone taught you, that you were bad, not enough, you were abandoned, you were left, you weren't worthy, you weren't stupid, whatever that thought pattern thing was that keeps you hindered in getting what you want, right? If you didn't have that, if you didn't know it, you weren't taught that you were dyslexic or you couldn't learn, if you didn't know that, what would change? What would you do instead? What would you walk out the door and start learning and becoming and just being in your life? Where would you go? Where would you travel? Oh, they're going to feel bad if I invite this one's, family member and I don't invite that one. You don't like that one. Fucking quit inviting them. Maybe you do like that one. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you don't invite any of them. What I'm trying to share with all of you is stop living. If you didn't have that belief and you just wanted to go live, what would it look like? Open, light, and free. You would start walking out the door and not be worried if they were going to be mad at you. Because if they are, then they've got a boulder sitting in front of them that they're judging you on. And then that's not your journey. It's not your blueprint. Okay? No judgment of anyone else. Time to be brave, bold, and true to self. right? Kid freedom energy, exactly. Kids don't really care. They just go do whatever they want. They have freedom energy, exactly. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys tonight. Please remember that you're going to recycle this stuff and it's going to be very quick. So don't get caught up in when you're in a victim bad attitude mode. It won't last very long. The moment you pick the back to what you wanted, you'll pull yourself right back out. Okay. It's going to be quick and it's going to keep going quick. And people from your past are going to come in quick and you're going to have to discern. Were they good when they were in my past, or were they not good when they were in the past? If they came back again and they were not good then, I'm guarantee you they're going to be more, even more so not good this time. Okay. Mahalo. Someone just wished me mahalo. I love you. Brightest blessings. And I will see you on Monday for that new moon in Leo. We're going to go full on Leo mode this month. You guys have an awesome night. Love you. Take care.